There's some news that came out of Minnesota Twins spring training that kind of solidifies, in some ways, the 26-man roster for opening day. There are some things that could break one way or another, but I think things are pretty much clear. So let's take a look at that. You see, we've got Bailey Ober here. Unfortunately, it's not good news for him personally. It's tough. It's tough. As you see here, Do Young Park of MLB.com reports that the Twins have optioned Ober to AAA St. Paul. Again, this is tough news for him. Certainly nothing he did wrong. He had a great spring. Pitched well with it when he was with the Twins last year, too. But, it became a numbers game. I'm kind of shocked in a way that we are ending spring training and the Twins have 6 healthy options as major league rotation pieces. I figured this situation was going to work itself out one way or another. Somebody was going to get hurt. Somebody was going to maybe not get ramped fully back up to speed. But no, everybody made it through. Ober's going to AAA St. Paul to start the year. Makes sense to keep him stretched out. What I would have done this, we'll talk about that more in just a sec here when we take a look at the full pitching staff. Want to just kind of continue to go through these news items first, because this sort of is the other piece that gives us some more clarity as well. And kind of, I suppose all these were maybe assumed in one way or another that Danny Coulomb, Aaron Sanchez, and Kyle Garlick were reassigned to minor league camp. Not too surprising, with Coulomb, with how well he's pitched this spring and being another left-hander. Maybe, there was a chance that he was going to break camp with the team. But, it's not going to be the case here. So let's take a look at the projected opening day roster with these news items. Now, as you can see here, we're going to take a look at the position players first. And I put this out into a defensive alignment. I think the Twins are going to, as usual, and as most teams do these days, really mix things up. There's not going to be a set lineup or a set defensive positioning lineup every day, but we do know that Kirilloff and Polanco are going to start the season on the injured list. With Kirilloff, we know he was playing in minor league games in spring training, so I think that's a good sign that maybe he won't be gone for too long. This is going to give him an opportunity to, starting the year on the injured list, he will be able to have a minor league rehab assignment, before he has to rejoin the team. So it's not like he'll get that kind of ramp-up opportunity without the Twins having to option him or something down in the minors. So I can't imagine we'll see him gone for too long, but there's a lot of mystery with this wrist injury, and I think it's just going to be a thing for a while. So we'll cross our fingers on that one for sure, because it certainly could go the other way, depending on how it goes with that wrist. Polanco, a little bit less encouraging. He wasn't as active and participating on the minor league side, it seemed like, with that knee. He said he came into camp ready to go, though. So, whatever, maybe just working and playing and trying to get ready for the season every day. That knee just didn't respond well, and that's what set him back. But I guess the good news for him is I'm not sure that he's going to be as close as Kirilloff, but the good news is it's not like we're expecting some kind of 2-month, 3-month timetable. There's certainly some mystery there too, though. I'm not going to say that that's impossible, that he will be out that long, but I would not expect it. But as you can see, kind of shifting the focus onto the guys that are here, this is kind of my expected most common defensive alignment. I'll put it that way. They've said Buxton is only going to DH. I still don't think he's going to DH every day. I think he's going to get plenty of days off early on. So expect that to kind of be a mix and match. Jose Miranda did finally get in at third base the other day. So I have him penciled in as kind of the primary first baseman, but I do think there'll be days where he does play third and Gallo comes in and plays first, and that'll open the door for Trevor Larnach to get into the lineup. But again, there's going to be a lot of moving parts, a lot of guys playing different positions. I just I like this defensive alignment the best out of all the options right now, with Miranda at first, Farmer at third, Gallo in left. I like that a little bit better than Gallo at first, Miranda at third, and Larnach in left. But again, there's going to be a lot of guys moving around. And that's kind of a strength of this roster this year, especially compared to previous Twins teams, is there hasn't been a lot of flexibility. There hasn't been a guy like Michael A. Taylor that you feel kind of is really a defensive equal to Byron Buxton in center field. So you're not taking a step back there by putting Buxton at DH. Now, again, with Buxton's injury, hopefully this is just for April and maybe not even all of April for Byron Buxton. And we do see him in center field before too long. But that's how I'm expecting things to go, at least out of the gates. And as you see, Willi Castro I have as the last bench guy. Sire Fort Myers candidate came in, not on the 40-man roster. That's why I put a star next to his name. He will need to be added to the 40-man, but the Twins do have an open 40-man roster spot. So it's kind of a nice situation that they don't have to create any space. They can just throw him on there. And Willi Castro, a guy who last year played everywhere but first base and catcher. Probably not going to be tons of opportunity for him to play. But he runs pretty well, too. So, nice guy to have on the bench, plays all over the place, can be a pinch runner for you. You could do much worse for a last guy on the bench. Let's shift the focus over to the pitching staff. So, again, with that clarity on Ober, this is what the starting rotation looks like. And I mentioned it in the video I did on Pablo's last start. He only threw 3 innings. There's only 40-some pitches. He's not really fully stretched out from coming back from the WBC. I guess if I would have had it my way, I would have piggybacked him and Maeda like they did in that spring start, and actually put Ober into the rotation, and kind of had Maeda as a follower, not as a reliever, but as a follower to Lopez, and could just kind of, until that didn't make sense anymore, basically until Pablo got stretched out. Now that would eliminate one of your traditional bullpen guys, so Cole Sands on this projection would not be in there had they done that. Again, I think I would have done that. Now you would have had fewer, again, traditional bullpen guys, which just kind of make you nervous. But there are more off days early on in the season in April. So you kind of feel like maybe there's more chances for your traditional relievers to get breathers, for guys to get back, have days of rest again. It would have been, it's not an ideal situation, but I think I would have tried to make that work with Maeda as a follower to Lopez and Ober in the rotation and Sands in the minors. But as things are looking right now, this is how I view things. It seems pretty clear that this is going to be the 5-man rotation. The bullpen, I think these are probably going to be the names that we see come up. As far as the roles, that's just what I'm throwing on them. Lopez is the closer, but of course Duran's going to actually get saves some of the time. I mean, Jax might even get some saves some of the times, depending on how, if the meat of a team's lineup, and that's why some of these other ones, I'll just explain what these abbreviations are. I have Duran listed as the right-handed high-leverage guy, Thielbar listed as the left-handed high-leverage guy, Jax as the right-handed middle-leverage guy, Moran is the left-handed middle-leverage guy, Pagan and Alcala are the low leverage guys, and then Sands is the long guy. But again, if the Twins are facing a team where the meat of their lineup is coming up in the 7th inning, and the starter's out, pitch Duran there. Pitch them against the best that they got. I think that's how they're going to manage the bullpen kind of once again. So I would expect, yes, some of the times that lineup is going to come up in the 9th, that thick of that lineup, and then Duran will get the save chance. But other times, if it's coming up earlier, he'll probably be deployed in that situation, and then just Lopez will close the game out, against what will hopefully be the softer part of the lineup then at that point. So don't think too much into all that, but that's sort of how I am viewing the roles in the bullpen there. But it's mainly the names. These are the names I think we can expect to be on the opening day roster. This is not official, though. This isn't official. It's not like we can really say for certain that this is going to be the 26-man roster, that this is going to be the pitching staff. There might be some health things that come up, and that's maybe a good segue. I want to thank all the members. All the premium members are listed here. You may kind of tell by my voice I'm a little bit under the weather. I actually have COVID right now. I think I'm back on the upswing. I think the worst of it is behind me, I think, but I got to list myself as questionable for Member Monday tomorrow. So I just want to give a heads up that, I apologize if I don't get a Member Monday video out tomorrow. If I feel better and get enough rest and have the time, definitely will knock that out. But Thanks again to all the members. Thanks for everybody watching this video. We'll talk again soon.